Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Plants and Politics. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on the most recent mass shooting. The mass shooting in Illinois is the one that I'm referring to, of course, in Highland Park, Illinois, over the weekend on the, holiday weekend for freedom, to celebrate our freedoms and our independence in this country. And, these gun right nuts, and I'm a gun owner, but, we've got these gun right nuts who don't care that people are dying because of the amount of guns in this country. When we have more guns in our country than we have people, that's a problem, and that's called a clue. And what's now been revealed is that this guy could have been stopped with appropriate red flag laws. There are red flag laws in this state, but for some reason, he got around them. So it was just announced at a press conference by the police that apparently he had 2 other run-ins with the police over the past several years. In 2019, a relative called, I believe it was a relative, called the police and said that he had attempted or threatened to commit suicide. He didn't follow through with it, but they had heard about it after the fact and they contacted the police. So the police went, investigated it, took down a report, and that was basically it. And then he was referred for mental health treatment. And then in another incident, he was threatening to kill people, and he had a whole stash of knives, and I believe they said a sword of some sort. So the police went, they confiscated all of those weapons. But again, nothing, because he didn't actually harm anyone or attempt to harm anyone. He was just threatening. He wasn't taken into custody. So this man had numerous run-ins with the police. He was known online for posting very dark content, very violent content, and nothing is done. Nothing is done because, freedom was spelled D-U-M-B. I'm sick and tired of hearing about freedom. You know what freedom is? Freedom is being able to go with your family on a holiday weekend to a parade without the fear of being murdered. Freedom is being able to drop your children off at school without having to worry that they might be shot and killed. So spare me the freaking freedom bullshit. I'm sick of hearing about it. And again, I'm a gun owner. This shit doesn't happen in other countries. I have extended family in Japan, and I've asked them why they never have any mass shootings. Never, not ever do they have mass shootings. The reason why is because it's treated with more respect. So you have to go through training. You have to be properly vetted. They have to do a background check first. And you have to be taught how to handle a weapon. And then you have to maintain that weapon in a proper manner. So they can come to your home at any time in Japan and check to make sure that your weapon is secured so that no one else can get a hold of it who hasn't already been vetted and who isn't licensed. This guy, on the other hand, who had clear mental health issues, was able to walk into a store and legally purchase multiple weapons, multiple guns. The only people who are out there boo-hooing and bitching about red flag laws are the fucking nuts who know that they would have their guns taken away because they're freaking psychos like Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's why. She couldn't pass a psych exam. You'll never convince me of that. Just my opinion. I have no proof other than everything she's ever said and done, like hunting down a school shooting victim, following him around and letting him know she had a gun with her as she's following him and stalking him on a street in DC. But yeah, those are the type of people who are bitching and whining about red flag laws. The criminals and the psychos are the ones who are concerned about gun legislation. And I'll say it again. Yeah, we just passed something, but it is pathetically weak. The red flag law part of it will only apply to wealthy people, basically, because they're the only ones who are going to have a history of mental health issues. They're the only ones who have health insurance. They're the only ones who are going to seek mental health treatment. The people who need it the most, the people who have nothing to lose, who are struggling in life, who are, on a knife's edge economically. And so they figure, screw it. What do I have to lose? And if I'm miserable, I'm going to take a bunch of people with me. Those people don't have health insurance. They're not out seeking mental health treatment. They can't afford it. So this is ridiculous. It's not going to work. And, they've said in this case in Illinois, they're going to be looking into it to find out how their red flag laws actually failed, how he got around all of this and was able to still go out and purchase weapons, even with his history. It's unreal. It's unreal. And it is just statistically a fact that the countries who don't have weapons of war floating around on the street, semi-automatic weapons all over the country for anyone to purchase, they don't have mass shootings. That's called another clue. I do want to mention they did say, sadly, there is now a 7th death to report. So another person has died as a result of this mass shooting. There were over 40 casualties in total of victims who were injured, but 7 people now have died. This absolutely doesn't need to be this way. It is only because we have a segment of our population who is so terrified of everything and everyone around them. And I blame right-wing media for that. They've terrified their audience. They walk around like perpetual victims, just waiting for someone to attack them. So they're scared to death and they have to have weapons on them at all time. It's freaking pathetic. All right, guys, I will let you know when I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.